Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Back Shop. Hope you enjoyed the servicing and the cleaning of the BR18 by Roco on the previous episode. Today we're going to do something pretty cool. It's another Roco locomotive. My buddy actually got it for me for my birthday, and it's a Roco E69 locomotive, and I have it right here. This thing's pretty cool. So she's kind of rough, but we'll go ahead and go through this unit, get her running. Doesn't run, and I will show this time. Doesn't run. Doesn't do really much of nothing except look pretty cool, and she's pretty small. So if you want to stick around, see what it takes to get one of these guys running, welcome aboard. Let's go to the bench. So let's get her on the track here. We're looking okay. Let's turn up some voltage. And we got, there's nothing. There's nothing. One train's moving, but this one isn't doing anything. Alright, well, to the bench. Alright, here we are. First inspection looks like all the pieces are there. Pantographs work. Handrails, little misshapen. We could probably get that back together again, no worries. Very dirty, but yeah, let's go ahead and get her apart, see what makes her tick. So, funny story about this engine. I actually spotted it on eBay, and then my buddy Bob calls me up and sends me the link to this locomotive, and he goes, "It's gone." He goes, "I bought it." So a few days later he brings it over, and here it is. So, oh boy, I don't know. Here, let's get this electrical pickup out of the way. I can see here, let me go with a thinner flat blade here. Alright, clip here, and we just gotta pry it up. There we go. Got that side out. Let's work on getting the other side out. There we go. Oh, gives you enough. Ooh. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. Is it even focusing? Probably not. But this is the reason why you don't clean your track with steel wool. This motor is just loaded with wire hair. And these brushes, I've never seen corrosion on brushes before, so hopefully we can bring them back. And that commutator is just wasted. It's black. Slots are filled. Hopefully this armature is okay. If not, I may have a really cool idea. But let's continue the teardown. Looks like 2 more screws here and here. That should get us to pull the body off. Well, it definitely removes the couplers. Here, let me go back to the larger screwdriver. All my screwdrivers are magnetic, and hair is all over that now too, just from being near the locomotive. Oh, yep, okay, hold on. Let's, okay. Boy, everything's coming out on this guy. Let me get my tweezers. Alright, put these off to the side. And we have a broken gear. Dang it. That guy is cracked. I don't know if you could see that. It's right there. I'm gonna have to see if I have a replacement, but that is cracked through. Oh yeah, cracked through and through. It takes nothing to move this. So, alright, well, that's a bit disappointing. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. First time I've actually seen it on a Roco locomotive. Heard about it, never seen it in person though. Okay. I mean, everything other than that, the motor being bad and the cracked gear, everything else seems okay. Move the coupler off to the side. This weight comes off. Looks like we might unsolder this wire and then this wire, because the black wire hooks up to the pickup shoe down here. So I'll just take both of these off from the top, and then we'll continue the disassembly. Looks like I can unsnap the chassis from the drive. So let's go ahead and pull these wires off. Okay, one more. Okay. One was to the motor, and then one was to the pickup. We can get this off to the side. Now, we can pull this out, put that off to the side for cleaning later. Let's continue to tear into this guy. So it looks like a little twist here. There's a clip here and a clip here. So there we go. One side released. There's the other side. Okay. Besides being dirty, everything else looks okay, so let me get this cover plate off. Boy, you're not gonna go until I wash the body, and then there we go. You're gonna fall out at the most inopportune time. So 2 covers, 2 screws for the body, 2 screws for the chassis, 2 couplers, 2 cover plates. We're good. Now, let's see what else we have here. Let's pull those brushes. So we'll hold the brush with our finger like this. These are like the old Pitman motors. This actually looks an awful lot like a Tyco MU1 drive. Very much so. I mean, not identical, it's very similar though. Alright, so let's hold and then try and get this undone. If it's like all the other type of these motors, these should slide. These plastic springs per se, the actual springs here in the middle, but these clamps or whatever you want to call them, they should slide over on top of one another with the spring in between, so they force out independently. So let me see. Small flat blade, where did you go? There you are. Let's see if we can just get behind. Alright, got lucky. Let's pull this side out, little wiggle wiggle. Oofta. It's pretty rough. Alright. Alright. Now, you should be able to, with the tension off, get this one to drop out. We'll get the spring, and then the other guy. Yep, these guys slide. This is not broken. These guys are meant to slide. All right, let's put you guys off to the side. Now that looks all riveted. Let me just pull a meter out here real quick. See if I can go off of these tabs. I'm wondering if the windings are okay. Try and get that in shot. Okay. All right. We're good there. All right, we have a good armature. Surprising, I mean, due to the condition of that commutator. Holy mackerel. I don't think I have ever seen one that bad. This has definitely been over lubed and all that oil has made its way between the brushes and the commutator and just made a whole huge mess of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a drill that rivet out. It should go easily. It's just an aluminum rivet, it looks like. I should have a brass screw and a nut that I could put on there. And let's see here. Do we have enough? Do we have enough width for a nut? Let's see. Put this circuit board over here. Well, we have a little bit. We have more on this side than we do this side. So maybe the end of the screw and the washer will go here, and we could probably just file down the head on this side. Alright. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. So let's try and push this out. Oh, there we go. All I need is one side. Let's push that back down slightly. I think it's inhibiting. Come on. There we go. Except we had to snap it back together again. Alright. We are dealing with like a super magnet here. Holy mackerel. Let's try and slide this down. There we go. Yeah, that's a good magnet there. Good. Alright. Now let's... Jeez. Let's get this worm gear out. Now it's really hard to see, but I'm not pushing actually on the gears. I've moved the armature all the way as I can as far as the bearing will go, and I'm actually pushing on the very end over here. Plus it gives you the most leverage. So alright. Push. I am gonna probably end up slipping and hitting my fingers, but let's see. There we go. Boy, those are in there good. Alright. Jeez. The armature is full of it. The magnet's full of it. Holy schmackerel. Alright. Let's take a screwdriver here. And what we're going to do, take a marker. I don't know if it'll actually be hard to realize which way this goes, but let's just put a T for top. How's that? T for top. And then we'll go this way and this way. This way, I'll know when I go to reassemble all this which orientation this should go. So pull that out the rest of the way. Ah, no wonder. He's a little warped there. Alright. So let's carefully put the magnet off to the side. And then we'll slide this guy out. These guys I think I'll end up keeping. I'm going to end up removing this, temporarily soldering a replacement there, because these are known to short over a period of time. And then maybe make some tweaks when I do so, because this isn't really, this looks like it's supposed to be snapped up there, and looks like possibly somebody was already in here. So alright, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the base. I'm gonna wash the body. And now you guys, I'm gonna say it again, I use warm soapy water with a little bit of Dawn dish detergent and a brush exactly like this. I showed you in the last episode. It's a 2-inch wide. I don't know, I bought this for like $1.50 or $2 over at Home Depot. This one I use with a little bit of pledge on the end, pledge revive it, not just normal pledge. It's got to be the revive it with the argan oils. It actually, I've come to find out that on old brittle plastic like this, it'll actually rejuvenate it, kind of, and kind of puts the plasticizer back into the plastic, making it more forgiving. But overall, all the detail looks pretty good. I don't know if these are supposed to be headlights. I think they are. So this is going to be another candidate for DCC. And let's get the plastic windows out of there. I'm figuring that this locomotive must have been made in the mid to late 70s. Geez, could even be earlier. We're also going to remove the pantograph. We're prepping this for washing. Now there's usually insulators. Whoop. Screw for that. Let's turn it over. There's usually insulators. Oh no, there's not. There is a spacer though. So we'll go ahead and put the screw back into the pantograph base. This way we don't get them mixed up with the other screws. And we'll set this guy off to the side to be washed. We're going to get all the nastiness out of there. And then we'll go ahead, we'll put this off to the side. So we're going to wash all this, and then I'll be right back. Oh, can't forget the windows. Alright, be right back. Alright, while the body's drying, what we're going to do is we're going to pull these wheels, and then we're going to pull the gears. I don't have any gears in stock that are going to work, but I have an idea. So let's pull the insulated side off first, because that's, you know, going to be a little quicker and easier. Let me grab my puller. Would have been great if I had all this ready, right? Looks to be close to our axle. That'll work. Only this won't. Alright. Plan B. There we go. Different gear puller. So let's go ahead and get her out of there. Alright. Now let's get, you could really see that that crack, because as soon as I pull this off, it's not going to be under pressure anymore, and that gap's going to close. Yeah, pretty much did close. So so we're gonna try giving her a clean in mineral spirits. I'll press the other one off. We're gonna clean them, wash them, and then I'm gonna put them in some 91% alcohol and try and get every bit of oil out of there. I have ultraviolet curing glue, so we're going to use that, and we're going to get it in there. We're going to clamp it and then hit it with the ultraviolet light. And then what I'm going to do is come in and open up the axle hole ever so slightly, maybe a thou, just enough to get a slightly snug fit, almost kind of the way it is right now, on there. And then we'll clean the axle really well, and then we'll use some JB Weld. Alright, so gears are both cleaned. Got them both cleaned. Cleaned them in the mineral spirits, brushed out all the old oil and grease, and then once that was dry, I ended up hitting it with some rubbing alcohol. In fact, here's the rubbing alcohol. And now what I'm ready to do is attempt using ultraviolet curing glue and glue these cracks. Once this is set and it seems to be holding, I'll carefully remount the center so it's a snug fit rather than a press-on fit. So we'll use the JB Weld to make our bond with the axle. So let's go going. Let's see. I'm using a toothpick to help control the amount that's going to go in there. I want as much as I can, but I also don't want it to fill the low spot in the gear. See that? Alright. It made pretty good. It got in there pretty deep. Let's put a little bit more. I hit the other side now. Alright, we can see that the glue has made it all the way to the center. You can see that. There it is. So now what I'm going to do is go back to a clean toothpick. Alright. Try and remove that. Okay. Now, I got a clamp. And what I'm going to do, where'd it go? Okay. It's all blurry. I'm gonna clamp this together. See, we even have more excess glue. So we'll get that out. Alright, let's hit it with the UV light. I have to do this off camera. The UV light isn't bright enough to overcome the shop light I got here. So the glue doesn't even know that it's being hit with UV. So let's see, did it hold? Let's see. Will it open back up again? No, let's get one a little larger. That's actually holding pretty good, because that's more force than I want. Now, what I'm going to do is just clean up the excess just on the sides of the teeth. Alright. Just trying to clean up and get all that stuff out of there. Alright, so far that looks like a successful repair, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other one and just speed this up. Alright, we're back. So, glue dried overnight. We're good there. Everything seems okay. So I've been thinking on how I'm going to get these attached back to the axles, which I also cleaned. You can see they're awfully nice and shiny now. Wheels and axles. Did those in the same mineral spirits with the brush, and then wiped them off, let them air dry. So I'm thinking that because the gears have shrunk, hence that's why they cracked, if we go ahead and try pressing these back on, they're just gonna crack again. So you can kind of see my telltale here. What I was gonna do was carefully chuck one of these into my drill and then spin it while it's on center and file on the inside here like so. This way I can make sure that it stays round, it stays centered. You know, what we don't want is for the gear to wobble back and forth as it's rotating, or from the side this way going up and down, you know, because the hole's off center. That's going to change our gear mesh and it's going to be noisy. So what I ended up doing was very carefully, and it didn't take me very long, work with a round file just so that this slips on. Okay, should be about there. So that's looking pretty good. She's not, except for my fingers wobbling. The gear itself is not wobbling. So we're gonna go ahead and get the second one done. I'll show you how I did it, and we'll fit it you know, live. And then what we're going to do then is JB weld both. All right. So this is pretty much a pair. I'm going to go ahead, and you can see that it's too tight. We don't want that so tight, because all it's going to do is open this crack back up again. It's actually sealed up pretty good, but still, we don't, you know, glue is only so strong. It's never going to take the place as a fully molded part. So the end of my file, you can see, is curved. So rather than going straight on, I kind of tilt this way so that my surface I'm filing with is 90 degrees to the bore of the hole. All right. So we want to get it to about up to there. That's about how we know we're just about right. So, and I'm gonna very carefully work my way around. Doing even circles. You don't have to take very much off if you all try doing this. You know, it's easier to take more material off than to try and put it back on, because then you're kind of, you know, it's a one and done type deal. So just a little bit more here. This little locomotive is gonna hopefully run well. I also have another idea. One more time on this side, and then we'll check the fit. So I really would like to put DCC and sound and everything in this one. I think it'd be pretty unique, being that it's so small. And with a modern chassis, it's pretty easy. Oh, we're almost there. We're hopping it on. You see that? We're able to get it on, but this gear is under tension right there. So just a little bit more. So we're gonna need room for the speaker, and I'm majority of the time use micro or nano decoders from ESU. I like ESU. I have the ESU programmer. They're quality, they last, and I really like the auto motor control. You know, the setup for it, all the parameters. Okay, so there we go. That's exactly what we want. See how that slid on? A little bit of friction, but we're good, and it's square. So, all right, let's pull this off, pull that one off. Let me get some JB Weld. Let's move the file out of the way. Also, let me get some rubbing alcohol, because what I want to do is remove the debris from the center of those gears. All right, and now I want to clean where we're going to JB weld. Now this has already been cleaned, but you know, you never could be too safe. That's looking okay. Let's get the last wheel pressed on. And then before this stuff really kicks off, if we need to make any adjustments, I have the chassis here. And we could sight down because this is where the armature sits. So if we drop a wheel here, see, that's off. So this still needs to go this way. Let's try it now. That's looking much better. Where did the other one go? Here it is. See, this one's off a little bit too. So we'll nudge her back that way. Uh-oh. Nudge her back that way. Okay. A little bit more. Because we want that, we want to sight these gears directly down the center. So that's actually looking pretty gosh darn good to me. Now before I get any of this JB Weld and any of the journals, I'm going to come by with a little bit of a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol. Let's get rid of the JB Weld and clean some of that up. That's pretty good. I'm really digging that. Same thing here. I'm really digging that too. So we'll set these all off to the side. Okay. Alright. So body come out really nice with a good wash. But what we're going to do is fix this handrail, and that looks like it's going to be super simple. We're just going to put this stanchion back in that hole. There we go. And then that just slotted right in. So that's good. Alright. Chassis come out really nice. Missing a buffer, but I should have one of them laying around in my parts bins. But yeah, these both come out real nice. I'll be right back. And this stuff did wonders for getting cabinets looking great again, looking new. It brings blacks back. I even use this stuff on the black body clad molding on my SUV. Works better than back to black, I could tell you that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of this to the end of the brush. To this motor. boy. No, look at that. There's even metal in the worm gear. That's not good. Alright. We tested the coils. We know this armature is good. So I think at this point, I'm going to drop this in the mineral spirits, let it eat on this commutator, and then we'll have to dig out all the carbon schmag in between those insulating gaps. You can see the gap here. I don't know, can you see that? Wow, I wish my camera would focus better. Oh, there it is, maybe. You can see the gap here, but there's really not a gap there. So we need to get all those back. And this is the reason why I really like the 80-90 weight gear oil for these bushings and stuff like that, because it keeps the oil from migrating onto the commutator face and then following it up and arcs. And I'm really surprised. Well, I guess we'll see once this gets cleaned up. But usually the commutator, when it's in a condition like this, you clean this all off, it's pretty pitted and from arcing and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and dump this in the cleaner, and we'll let this soften up overnight. I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. Alright. Took the motor out of the mineral spirits. Came out really clean. You can see the commutator is much cleaner, but we still got to get it polished. We want nice fresh copper there. So I cut a piece of 3000 grit sandpaper into a strip, and then what we're going to do is I have my old trusty drill here, and we're going to carefully chuck the motor into the drill, and we're going to spin the drill. I do this using a clamp like this. Harbor Freight holds the trigger, and then I can work on polishing the commutator. So I'll play a little music while I get this done, and we'll move on from there. That sits above all of this. What I'm going to try and do is I salvaged 2 magnets from another Roco motor. It's an open frame guy. Yeah, here we go. It's actually from one of these guys. So there's a brush block here. So these magnets actually loosened up and fell out all on their own. The glue dried out. And they were actually contacting the motor armature. That's why this has got a little bit of metal on it. And I'm going to show you how to remove that. Just use some blue painter's tape. just stick it on and pull it off. All right. What I want to see before I go through with any of this is the magnets look like they will physically fit where they're supposed to. All right. But I want to see if this base plate will snap on with those magnets there. Look at that. Yeah. It will work. Space-wise, sure. All right. Let's go ahead and pop these snaps back off here. All right. Let's get the magnet out of there. Let's get the orientation correct. And let's see. Here's where the commutator is, because this is where the springs go through, or the spring. Okay. Okay. So I resoldered this guy, and then I did check it. It's not shorting out. So, and it also provides a little bit of tension this way to give spring tension here. We don't want to lose, yeah, see? I don't know if you can see that. I can move the whole thing. So without something soldered onto this end's kind of willy-nilly to flop around, and we're not getting good contact at the brush to the commutator. But the whole purpose of getting rid of this for these is that now we've got a nice clean upper surface area here for, let's say, like a ESU, low sound speaker, DCC, because we're going to do sound in this one if it runs really good, like I'm hoping it will. But for right now, let's go ahead and get the lower half reassembled. There's some gotchas that I noticed while I was taking it apart, and this locomotive was wrong, and this is another reason why it didn't work. Somebody was obviously in here, but this wheel, you'll see there's like a silver insulator. You see that right on the inside there? This wheel is insulated from this wheel and this axle by that insulator. The other wheel, no, both of them are the same way. So it's very important when you put these wheel sets in that the insulated wheels go to these wiper pickups, because the non-insulated wheel is going to get picked up with the axle pickup. You see that? So it was the other way around, so that every time you put it on the track, this would literally short the motor together, and you'd only have one input because this wheel wasn't picking up anything. So let's put a little bit of grease down there. Let's get that super lube. There we go. It's in. There we go. Okay. So she's back together. I did move the magnets inboard more, closer to the armature. It was kind of rough. This glue is very tough, but instead of using that thick cardboard, I ended up doubling up a piece of my sandpaper and then repositioning them and re-gluing them. I mean, we already went through that once. It's the same procedure, only the gap between the armature and the magnets is closer now. This is done. We'll put that off to the side right there. There's one more thing that we need to do, and that is put a little love on our pantograph. We could see she's sort of rusted, kind of dirty, but I am going to remove the pantograph screw, set that off to the side, and for these I like using just regular WD-40 and a Q-tip. And what I'll do is I'll dispense a little bit onto the end of the Q-tip, and then we'll apply it and wipe all that yuck out of the pantograph. I really don't like washing these under water for obvious reasons. Go ahead, let's move the WD-40 out of the way. Let's remount the pantograph. Now there was a spacer. Looks like it went this way. You got a pin right there. You got grooves right there. Maybe let's flip it around. Let's try this out. That fits better. It's more flush. So now we'll take the pantograph, set that on the top, collapse it. It looks as though we line up. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that grinding noise you hear is a Menards dealership HO scale with the car that rotates on the roof. I think that's crying out telling me it needs a greasing and a service. And there we go. Now, it has been probably 2 days, 2.5 days since we pledged this body, and you can see how it flattened out. It'll continue to flatten out more as that plastic and paint absorbs it, but it's looking pretty good now. We're gonna one last thing, and I just noticed it. Should put the windscreen in, huh? So let me grab my tweezers. Let's take the lower chassis, and then we'll go ahead and snap the power truck in there. And it's pretty cool now because we have nothing sticking up, so it's almost like one of those late 70s, early 80s self-contained power trucks now. So it's actually pretty cool. You know, it's been brought to my attention that subscribers on the first video are not able to leave comments. Nobody's able to leave comments. I apologize, that was my bad. I ended up, because I wanted this for all ages, so I also included children. Little did I know that when you do that, comments are turned off. So the 3 of you that are still watching this, I apologize. I have changed it, so if you want to unsubscribe and then resubscribe, you should be able to leave messages, make comments, whatnot. I will respond. Go. Little dude's back together again. I am going to take that Q-tip with the WD-40 and get these couplers because they're pretty rusted. Okay. I need one buffer. Let's go to the test track and see if it works. would say the Revival is successful. She runs okay, quite noisy. I'm not really hearing any gear click, like the gears are the problem. I think it's the plastic chassis that's really doing this in. So this is still going to be on our radar. We're going to come back to this one because this will get DCC and custom LED lighting. But the Revival's a success. She is running. She runs pretty good, as a matter of fact. I just got her clipping along pretty good because of my Insel Frog switch right there. The short wheelbase and only 4-wheel pickup is doing her in, but she will creep pretty well until she doesn't. There you go. But anywho's, hope you guys enjoyed it. Look out for part 2, which we're going to get into remotoring it. Maybe we're going to re-gear it. And then do DCC and lighting. But she actually looks pretty good doing it too. Alright guys. See you in the next show.